All right, I'm through a majority of this project and realized I haven't even been filming just because time is so tight right now. So I'm going to show you kind of where this is coming from and where it's going, and then probably the next time you'll see it, it'll be done. This is the solara that I made for the mandolin, the A-style mandolin, the very first one that we ever picked up. And the idea behind this is in order to push the sides back into position, this is made so that these are adjustable. Just quarter 20 hardware is what we used. They're faced with cork. And then this would allow me to position the sides where I needed it so I could glue the top of it back on. Because I don't know why, for some reason, I have a tendency to end up with projects that come completely apart, and then you've got just a big floppy kind of a side that just wants to go wherever it goes. Case in point, the Martin X series. This is a 000X1AE, and the braces are stabilized on the inside. I've gotten the splines put up on the backside of the minor cracks. The problem that we're having is that we need a way that we can start to manipulate this side back into where it's supposed to go so that we can glue a bunch of stuff together. So bear with me while we walk through the train wreck of the shop. There's our new panel. Friend of the channel, Jay, brought us another monitor, big monitor out of a Mac that we're going to use. So now we are over here to a bigger one, and you'll notice that there are 3 different outlines for guitars, because I'd rather make something once than have to make it a couple of different times. I've made molds, the exterior molds, and those work really well. But that's going to take up a crap ton of space if I ended up having to make a mold for every one of these things that comes in. So I took the solara idea and making it on a bigger scale just to see if it's going to work. Now the plan is, you can see I've got these little access points radiused out, and I've kind of got them in the direction that you'll probably need to nudge this piece. Now of course, since it's on hardware, you can manipulate little pieces side to side if you need to. You could wedge them if you needed to. You could put a spacer. I mean, there's all kinds of ways that you can manipulate that force that they're putting onto it. You'll notice these horrible little lines here. The edge of my router was catching on a previous gap that I had already taken out. So I've gotten about halfway that done. I've made a nice big pile of shop glitter on the bottom, and then for the sides, I've taken I took a board off of an old English barrister's bookcase that had made all the moves it was going to make, and so it's just in the stockpile of reclaimed wood. And it's just a very simple joint here with a 45-degree reinforcement. Sorry for the camera work. It's a phone and it has issues like the guy running it. So that's glued up, and then we're just going to put this on the bandsaw, and we're going to make nice little slices on it to get that L-shaped bracket with a little bit of reinforcement, a decent amount of meat on the back side of it so that we can have the sufficient clamping force that we need, and then we'll shape it on the sander and make it round and pretty-ish as much as we want to for it being a tool. I don't have any idea how old this oak is. I mean, it's got some really nice kind of figure to it, you know, like oak does. This came from, like I said, this came from England. I don't have any idea how old it was, but it was just, at some point, it was just parts. So anyways, that's what's going on in the shop today. Everything else is just kind of a work in progress. We have parts for everything. but it's just time right now. And with going to school 8 hours a day at night, it gets to be kind of crazy. Anyways, I'm James. This is Rattlecan Guitar Restorations. That is what's going on in the shop. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to follow us on the Insta thingy. And thanks for hanging in there, and thanks for your comments. We really appreciate them. You guys have a good one. Cheers.